To back up a little bit, I've often been asked, to your point about, okay, who was your role model for leadership? And because I spent so much time at GE, everybody expected me to say, "Oh, Jack Welch." It was Jack Welch. But at the end of the day, it was really my mom and dad. Because when I looked back at all the stuff I would do, it was just really kind of following the lessons that they taught me. And I was the first one in my family to graduate from high school. So my dad had 6 months of high school. My mom had 2 days, and then she got a small secretarial degree at a kind of a local, not even a community college. I'm not sure what you'd call it, but to learn how to be a secretary. So they didn't have advanced degrees. And as my mom said many times, look, I didn't even know how to advise you after you were 12 years old. I didn't know what to tell you. But they really kind of taught the values that I think are important for anybody who's a leader, whether it's making sure that you treat everybody with respect until demonstrated otherwise. To your point, hard work matters. Make sure you work on the right things. And most importantly, the one you touched on, think independently. Now, they didn't say it that way. My dad used to say, be a leader, not a follower. My mom used to say, think for yourself, whenever you would say something like, well, my friends are doing it. And I'd have to say, you hear that enough as a kid, it is irritating and annoying as hell. But it does have an impact. It's like, I guess, dripping water on a stone. It kind of gets to you. And I'm fond of saying, independent thinking is a lot more rare than being smart. And you oftentimes run into a herd of smart people, all with great degrees, did well on tests, but they all think alike. They really don't look at a set of data and come to a different conclusion than everybody else does. And where I think advancement comes from and doing well in life is from that ability to look at the same things, but see them a little differently and say, well, wait a minute, this is what I take away from this, and I'm going to do something differently as a result. And I'd have to say that has paid off extraordinarily well for me in my life and career. And it's one of the things that I advocate for everyone is be able to get yourself out of the herd, even though it may be uncomfortable in the beginning because we all tend to be herd animals and there's a comfort that comes from everybody thinking the same way, whether it's this is how my tribe thinks or this is my identity, whatever it is. But when you force yourself to actually start analyzing things and thinking about things differently and saying, is this still really true? Do I disagree? And just ask yourself those questions instead of just accepting what others are saying. Wow, you can end up in some really interesting places.